Hello, everyone, and welcome to my CSU channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Todd and Julie Chrisley's adoption of Chloe was never made final until a month or two before they left for prison. Todd and Julie Chrisley only finalized their adoption of Chloe just before they went to prison. On the first episode of their new Lifetime series, The Chrisleys, Back to Reality, released Monday, September 1st, the couple's daughter Savannah Chrisley revealed that her parents had only finalized the adoption of their youngest daughter, Chloe, 13, right before they went to prison. Todd and Julie were convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion in June 2022, while Todd, 56, was sentenced to 12 years in prison and 16 months probation. Julie, 52, received 7 years in prison and 16 months probation. After the husband and wife reported to prison on January 17, 2023, President Trump granted them a full pardon around 28 months later. Chloe is the biological child of Todd's oldest son. Julie, who spoke from prison in the episode, said in reference to Todd's son Kyle, 34. Once we found out that she even existed, of course, we wanted to be a part of her life. Todd welcomed Kyle and daughter Lindsay, 35, with his ex-wife Teresa Terry and share son Chase, 29, daughter Savannah, 28, and son Grayson, 19, with Julie. Her mother let us have her every other weekend, and then every other weekend turned into every other week. And then I'll never forget her calling my parents one day saying, "I need you to come get Chloe. We don't have anywhere to stay, and I can't have her sleep in the car," Savannah recalled on the show. Savannah continued, "Then she signed over custody completely. Everyone goes through their own life experiences. Chloe is living a much better life than she would have ever thought about living," she added. Savannah went on to say that her father never terminated Kyle's rights due to believing Chloe was his son's daughter. The adoption was actually never made final until maybe a month or two before Mom and Dad left, Savannah said. "My dad could never bring himself to do it and to terminate their rights," she continued. "But they had to do that to make sure that when they left, that Kyle or Angela couldn't come back and get her. Obviously, she was going to be left in my care," Savannah added. The episode then captured past moments as Savannah balanced being a big sister and the caregiver of both Chloe and Grayson. "She is making sure that Chloe's in the best school and Grayson's college is paid for," Savannah's friend Pamela said. Grayson then added, "Oh, I've always been attached to Savannah's hip. Like I used to have this thing, I don't know why I did it, but I called my mom Mom 1 and called my sister Mom 2, he continued. "And I would yell, 'Mom,' and they would both respond." For years, Chrisley Knows Best fans have watched little Chloe Chrisley grow up in front of their eyes, a bright, funny, and fiercely loved girl who brought light to the Chrisley family during some of their darkest moments. But behind the laughter, reality TV fame, and family affection, a shocking truth has emerged. Todd and Julie Chrisley's adoption of Chloe was not finalized until just a month or two before they went to prison. Now, sources close to the family, and even Savannah Chrisley herself, are shedding light on what really happened, revealing an emotional timeline of love, legal confusion, and last-minute decisions that nearly changed everything for Chloe's future. A complicated beginning. Chloe, born in 2012, is the daughter of Todd's estranged son Kyle Chrisley and his ex-girlfriend, Angela Johnson. From the beginning, her early life was tangled in chaos. Kyle's struggles with substance abuse and mental health issues often left him unable to provide a stable environment, and by 2014, Todd and Julie stepped in to raise Chloe full-time. What fans saw on the show was heartwarming. A loving couple raising their biracial granddaughter with care, giving her the stability and affection she needed. But off-camera, the legal situation was far more fragile. Though Todd and Julie became Chloe's guardians and primary caregivers, the formal adoption process dragged on for years, caught in a web of custody disputes, legal filings, and emotional complications. Angela Johnson, Chloe's biological mother, at times expressed her desire to regain custody, while Kyle's situation fluctuated between estrangement and fragile reconciliation with his parents. The delayed adoption decision. According to insiders, the Chrisleys had always intended to make their guardianship permanent. but timing and circumstances kept pushing the process back. Todd's growing fame, the family's busy filming schedule, and later their mounting legal troubles created an environment where finalizing the adoption just kept getting delayed. It was always on their minds, a family friend revealed. But between the show, Todd's business issues, and then the court cases, it was like there was never a perfect moment. Then suddenly, there was no time left. As the Chrisleys faced intense federal scrutiny for bank fraud and tax evasion, the urgency to secure Chloe's future became undeniable. Insiders say it wasn't until late 2022, just before the couple reported to prison, that they finalized the adoption process once and for all. It was literally done maybe a month or two before they went away, another source claimed. Todd and Julie didn't want to leave anything undone. Chloe was their daughter in every way that mattered, but they wanted the papers to say it too. Savannah steps up. When Todd and Julie began their federal prison sentences in early 2023, the responsibility for Chloe, along with Grayson, the youngest Chrisley son, fell to their daughter Savannah Chrisley, then just 25 years old. Savannah has been outspoken about the challenges of suddenly becoming a single guardian, balancing her media career and managing the heartbreak of seeing her parents behind bars. She's had to grow up overnight, a friend said. Savannah went from being the fun big sister to being mom and dad all in one. And the fact that Chloe's adoption was finalized just before all this, it shows how much Todd and Julie wanted to make sure she'd be protected. Savannah herself confirmed the complicated timeline during one of her podcast episodes, noting that there was a lot of misinformation out there about Chloe's legal status. People didn't realize that things weren't totally settled for years, she admitted. It's wild to think it was only finalized a short time before mom and dad went in. But I'm grateful it happened when it did, because otherwise, things could have been way messier. Angela Johnson's role and reaction. The story wouldn't be complete without mentioning Angela Johnson, Chloe's biological mother. Over the years, she's given mixed statements about her relationship with the Chrisleys. At times, she's expressed gratitude that Chloe was being cared for in a loving home. At other times, she's voiced frustration about being cut out of her daughter's life. When news of the final adoption surfaced, Angela was reportedly hurt but unsurprised. A source close to her shared, Angela always knew they'd eventually go through with it. She had hoped to be more involved, but by that point, too much time had passed. For Angela, the finalization symbolized the end of a long, complicated chapter, one where legal rights and emotional bonds collided in painful ways.